Hi, it's a lipstick gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I was thinking today it might be fun to show you the products that I reach for when I know I need a look to come out perfect. Keep in mind, this is me at 50 with mature skin, with my skin changing texturally constantly. I can't believe how much things have changed over the last 6 months, much less 6 years. And these are the products that I trust 100%. All right, I'm going to start out with the lip balm. I'm head over heels for the Edam Lip Softening Le Chou Chou Balm. This is in the clear mochi butter. So I'm going to put on a little bit of this so my lips don't get dry. This is the first time in a long time that I liked a product so much. I knew I was running out and I had to get another. I still haven't cracked into the new one yet, but this right here has changed the way I think about foundation. And I know it's not foundation, it's a skin tint, but I love this so much. It's a 1 ounce product and I have probably 30 plus foundations. I can't tell you the last time I repurchased the same one. Okay, keep that in mind. So me and this Lisa Eldridge skin tint get along really well. I'm just gonna give myself just a little bit. This is certainly more than the 3 drops Lisa says that you need. I find that 3 drops is just enough for like a no makeup look. And when I'm wanting to look like a little bit more polished, I'll add on just a little bit more. But the reason that I like this is that it sits beautifully on my skin. It looks like my skin without looking makeup-y while giving coverage, but it's not heavy. It's that perfect balance of perfecting just a few of the imperfections, like dialing down the redness, making the overall skin tone look a little bit more even. But you can still see my freckles and my texture. It just looks like skin. So after a really light skin tint, you're going to be like, what are you doing? I know this is a full coverage concealer, but this Natasha Denona concealer is so good. I use very little of it, actually. There's just some places that I need a little bit more coverage on my face. And this is where I take it. I only use one side of the applicator. This has lasted me forever. But it's just enough to give me that extra little bit of coverage where I need it. And it blends so well with the damp sponge, you really can't tell where the skin tint is and the concealer starts. The last thing I'm going to pull in for my base is something that's relatively new, but has become kind of like a staple. And that is the Pinpoint Concealing Pencil from Lisa Eldridge. I'm using the shade number 2, and I mostly use it just right here on this hyperpigmentation spot. So I'm going to give myself a little scribble, tap it in with my finger. Hyperpigmentation? What hyperpigmentation? I also use it to lift a little bit of the shadow at the corner of my eyes, like right here. I feel like the older I get, the more intense these little dark spots get, like right here at the corners of my eyes. And then a little bit right here in the tear trough, just to bring that dark spot just a little bit forward. And I feel like it makes a pretty big difference. If I were to use it for all the spots on my face, I would plow through this. And at $36 a piece, that's not what I want to do. So now I'm going to set my face and I'm going to reach for the one product that I've been using longer than anything else. I even pulled out a brand new one today. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffuse Light. I've been using this exact shade of powder for so long. My last one, I will finish it, but we're down to like, its last legs, where I'm having a hard time getting stuff out of the corners. But I'm going to dip into this today because why not? Here's where I tap out my concealer right before I set it to make sure I don't have anything settling into any lines. And I start at the outside corner and I just kind of tap going in. And I have powder on both sides of this brush. So I'm going in, adding powder one way and then flipping it over and adding more powder going the other. But I find that if I only go this way, I'm kind of setting makeup as the skin kind of pulls over and lays on itself. And then there will be places that are not set. That's not what I want. I'm using this small brush. If you're curious, it's the number 33 from Rougher for under the eyes and for targeted pinpoint kind of powdering. I am going to powder my entire face, but I'm going to start just by hitting specific places with this little teeny tiny brush. Then I'm going to pick up this giant Rougher 25 brush. It's a large powder brush, and I'm lightly just going to go over the rest of my face. I know this is kind of like a finishing powder, but I use it to set and to finish because it's such a whisper light powder, but it gives such a beautiful glow. I feel like at this point, it's just going to take down that slight, like now my skin doesn't feel even like there's any of the hydration from the skin tint on it, so that I won't have the powder products I'm putting over the top kind of grabbing down. This has to be one of my favorite all-time bronzers. This is the Gucci bronzer. This is in the lightest shade. It's 01. I'm just going to grab a clean brush. I love this slightly rosy toned bronzer. It's so pretty. This is a great bronzer if you have fair skin that leans a little bit cool. I don't feel like I have a cool undertone. I have a neutral undertone, but since this is kind of like a pinky, I think it would look good on people with a neutral or a cool undertone. Brings so much life back to the face. For blush today, I'm going to be using one of the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow blushes. This one is in the shade Baroque. I happen to have so many of these. I think I have like 5 different shades. This is one of my favorite, most reach for blush formulas. This one is a really pretty beige shade, but it has a little bit of glow to it. I'm just going to make sure I don't have too much picked up on my brush here. And I'm just going to give myself a little hint of blush. Here is another relatively new product. You may not have seen me use this before, but I've had this for a couple of weeks, and it has quickly become one of my favorites. It's from Hindash. This is the Gradient Highlight in the shade Dull Dynasty. I mean, look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. It's a little peachier over here, and it goes to a really beautiful gold. But what I love about this, the older I get, the less I want a highlight that is chunky. I want glow, but I don't want it to be too overwhelming. So this gives just the right amount of glow, and when I take the time to buff it in, it looks like my skin is radiant without being glittery, over the top, too much, an icy stripe. It just looks like beautiful skin. There are times that I wear this on my eyes too for a really easy, no fuss look. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Really love this. I never thought I was going to be the person who was head over heels for Benefit brow products. I know they're really good, but there are so many others that I love. But right now, I am obsessed with this Mighty Fine brow pen from Benefit. I have the shade 4.5, I think. Yeah, it's 4.5. And I love using this just to quickly, because it has those 3 little prongs, to quickly, you know, just brush in my brow. And it's never too dark, and it's never too much. It's just super easy. And all of a sudden I have an eyebrow. And then the 24-hour brow setter, mine is all gooed up because my hands are always full of makeup every time I reach for it. But like, I never do my face without this. I was thinking about getting a different one. For years, I used to use the either Anastasia Clear Brow Gel or the NYX Control Freak. And I just feel like this gives so much better hold. If you have particularly unruly brows and you need something that's going to hold them in place, I love this stuff. Before we get going too far, I'm going to spray my face. You can see I love this stuff. I'm almost out. This is the Divine Water from M. This is my favorite. It's kind of a finishing spray. It's not necessarily a setting spray. And then I pull out a fan. Time for a little eye makeup, and I'm going to reach for probably what is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I love this so much. This is the I Need a Nude from Natasha Denona. I'm going to admit it. I'm a boring Betty when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. I want something that's going to be effortless, not look like I'm trying too hard, that's not going to be too heavily saturated because I am very fair. I am going to absolutely love reaching into this every time I open it up. So when I'm looking for a go-to look that I know I can trust, I pull this out. I'm using a cool brown on the lower lash line as well as in the crease, the transition area. I know it doesn't look like I've got much on, but that's on purpose. I'm going to take a slightly cooler shade on this little brush here and just hit the outside corner a little bit. I really don't want it to look like I'm wearing a lot of eye makeup. I just want to sculpt my eye a little bit. Then I'm going to add a shimmer to the inner corner and then a sparkle all over the lid. I'm going to take a slightly deeper color right here on the outside corner. I feel like I need just a little bit more depth. I love the Victoria Beckham eye kajols. I have this one here in cinnamon. It's one of my current favorites. I know my eye looks a little on the cool side, but I'm going to pull in this warm brown liner just right at the lash line. And more than 50% of the time, because I'm lazy, I'm going to reach for a tubing mascara. My current favorite tubing mascara is from M Cosmetics. It's their Shape Shift tubing mascara. I think it's fabulous. I also love the one from e.l.f., the lash extender. I like the one from Thrive. I think there are so many really great tubing mascaras out there, but I'm going to coat my lashes in this today. The reason that I opt for a tubing mascara is because I don't get any smudging. I don't get any flaking, and it comes off with just warm water at the end of the day. I love that so much. The one thing you don't always get with tubing mascaras, though, is a ton of volume. You'll get some really good length, but volume is something you have to work for. I do find that this formula does actually build on itself pretty well. Not all tubing mascaras do. All I need now is a lip, so I'm going to wipe off the balm that I have on, most of it, because if I put a lip liner over the top of this, it's really not going to provide the barrier that I need my lip liner to offer me. And I'm going to go in with a Makeup Forever pencil. This is the shade Wherever Walnut. This is one of my default pencils. I love this one so much. Then I'm going to throw on one of my favorite lipsticks. It's usually going to be Elisa Eldridge. Right now, I'm still over the moon for these Rouge Experience. I'm pulling out the shade Romy. Here's the finished look. It's not particularly difficult. It's not very risky. I'm not, wearing pink eyeshadow or like bright cobalt eyeliner. I'm not really doing anything that is really far out there. I'm just wearing makeup that looks and feels like me, but that is just a little bit more. I feel like having that little sparkle on the eye, having that, really perfected nude lip, and the blush that's there, but not too much. That's really what I love about this type of a look. And I really love the look that I get on the cheek, the glow that I get from the Hindash highlight in conjunction with the M Cosmetics Divine Water. I feel like these two together play beautifully. Thank you so much for watching today. Here's where I would love to know, what do you reach for? What are your most tried and trusted products? Everything that I used here today are the ones that I know I can instantly default to if I need like something that I know I can lean on. Like, okay, I don't have like a lot of time, but I know it's got to come out looking good. These are the products that I reach for. I would love to know what those are for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.